Send it out. Send it out. Black signal has been unleashed upon the world. Family, we are up. We are live. Let's get it.
Mr. Daddy.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water. But first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath, man. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink. Man. Now, grab your glass for that water. Get your container of that water. Or picture, look at picture of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, live, pour, then drink. Man, hold on. Now, move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Stretch, move your body and drink some water. Family, move your body. Damn, that feels good. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, move, move, then drink. What? Now hold on. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. What's up, Gina G? Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. But to stay healthy, remember the 4 pillars of health. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Make sure you drink half your weight in water. But hey, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors, break down, drink up. Whoever's on the line, please turn down your music. I know who it is already. Drink, 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 drink. Turn on your background, Gina G. Take your breath. Take a sip. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink your water, family, family, family. Great morning, my fault. Great afternoon. We are in the afternoon period right now. Gina, you need to turn down your, here, I take care of it. Don't worry about it. I'll mute your mic. All right. Shouts out to Brother Tim Williams. I see you out there. But, well, my fault, it ain't Gina. Whoever is out there, please, please, if you on the line, turn down your background so that we could go on, do our toast, and have our conversation. The conversation for the day. Sasha. Sasha. Yes. Real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. All right, family, listen. The conversation for today is skin in the game. I was writing an article for the newsletter. I know y'all like the newsletters. Late, Brother Hot Tim. I know. I'm already shamed. You don't have to bring no more shame on me. I'm shamed already. So I'm going to try to finish it up this weekend and push it out so that the newsletter is out there, family. If you are on the Black Signal, you will get a copy. If you have subscribed to the e-course, the free e-course, you're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Family, we're going to send out the newsletter. It's going to be available. We got some good articles. I was waiting for another article, but I didn't get it. And then I'm trying to create this article talking about skin in the game. Having actual skin in the game. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of talkers. You know what I'm saying? And what we need to make sure is that we have people that are down with us that actually have skin in the game. Not good talking points. Not good organizational skills. You know what I'm saying? But skin in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because when you put the meaning of skin in the game, right? Hold on. I'm gonna read it straight from the dictionary or wherever they pull it from. If we type in skin in the game, Sasha, why is the door locked and you outside? Real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. To have skin in the game is to have incurred the risk, monetary or otherwise, by being involved in achieving a goal. In the phrase, skin is the synecdoche for the person involved, and game is the metaphor for action on the field of play under discussion. Do you have skin in the game? And let me tell you how you know if you have skin in the game. If you are involved in a venture, and that venture was to fail, you will feel a severe pain. Whether that pain was economic, whether that pain, the pain is real. It takes a chunk out of your life. Now, a lot of us, we have emotional skin in the game. I feel a certain type of way. But emotions, you get them hurt. And in a lot of cases, you keep on moving. We got a little bit of emotional skin in the game. But when it comes to the financial and the time equity and shit like that, we don't have that. And in order for us to be successful in anything, we have to be invested in it. And I'm not just talking, you know what I'm saying? It's a multi-layered thing, right? Sasha, Cleveland, come help this girl. You shouldn't be trying to, oh my God, it's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. My little daughter went outside, locked her damn self outside. Oh my God. And cut that fan
I think I know what you're talking about.
Go ahead, bro. Thank you for saving me. Go ahead.
So let me say, man.
Don't touch my key.
Let me say, you know, after
You better shut up.
after 16 years, after 16 years of bumping my head and moving through the judicial system, pro se, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not saying that I got skin in the game, but from my position, I see how the system works. I see how it doesn't work. I see how it's incentivized, and I see how it's motivated. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, go ahead. We listening. You ain't got to make sense on the journey. You just got to make it. But go ahead.
So the thing is that you was there. You know, I'd write these really eloquent motions, teardropping motions, and they had a way to cut beyond the emotional aspect of it, even the moral aspect of it, and understand that at the end of the day, they're just trying to cookie cut my case into how do we make money from this.
Oh.
Now, they already know the answer. So it's just a thing that they're playing to keep me on edge. And after 16 years, I see how the levels work. You know, I've spent so much time in this lower trial court that because they wanted to keep it there, that when it was time to appeal, it changed the game because it changed the people involved. It changed the players, and it changed the rules slightly. Because what happens in trial court don't happen in appeals court. And in appeals court, even I would have to say, and I might be wrong, but in my experience and looking for somebody to represent me in appeals court, I'd say like 40% of those who would represent you in trial court won't do an appeals case. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different game. And then especially when you move into the Supreme Court levels, it's a totally different game, totally different players, totally different stakes. So when I look at something as simple as an eviction process, going from trial court into appeals court, there's certain things that I realize that the next man may not. That the landlord that might be filing these types of things, see, this is the thing, is that usually when people get a 3-day notice on their door or an eviction notice on their door, black folk or anybody, it ain't even a black thing. If you're inexperienced in a realm and you get this letter, you're like, oh man, we gotta go. First things first, we gotta go. We gotta seek a new refuge. And I've been in this situation, and the thing is that, okay, in my perspective, let them file this thing, and I'll simply just let it play out however it's going to play out in trial court and immediately move to appeals court. Why? Because I know at the end of the day, if we're talking about a lesser of a $9,000 lease, it's going to cost this man at least $10,000 to retain a lawyer that's going to see him out in appeals court. So I already know that this individual has more to lose than I do just by attempting to oppose me in the court of law.
Now, wait, I got a question, Shaka.
And at the end of it.
Hold on. See, this is why I had to get out of real estate. Smart niggas like you. Listen, so you saying, you saying that you would refuse to pay a man's rent or a woman's rent and would rather have them lose the property than just move out. Rather than, because when you sign a lease, you kind of sign an agreement that you are supposed to do something. Right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
If you don't pay the rent,
and let me explain.
Please explain that.
I know you're getting that.
Right.
And let me just justify this. Because when you sign this lease, it's two parties to that. And what you say you're providing on that lease needs to be real. Because if you write this thing on a lease, just like me, Hakim, telling you, all right, I'm a rent you this space and X, Y, and Z is available to you, but you get there and it's not that.
Okay.
Now, between gentlemen, I'm telling you that, hey, this is what I signed up for. This is the amount that I said I would pay for these amenities.
Right.
Not only are these amenities just drawn up and are not real, but the fact that I called you on it, now you're taking a disrespectful tone because you never thought that somebody was going to call you on your bullshit.
All right, now, so
I'm saying to you.
Right, please. Because this is what I'm saying. Because I don't want people to think that you are advocating moving into a motherfucking space, just refusing to pay rent, I mean, because let's say everything is provided.
No,
Okay,
but there's
cool.
a level of respect in all my relations that needs to be, especially if I'm giving you money on a consistent basis. You need to have a certain regard for my life. And if I'm telling you, and this is some real stuff, if I tell you that the cigarette smoke that you painted over in a bathroom is affecting my heart on a daily basis, and you choose not to use the right paint to go up on there to seal those decades of nicotine in there, and every time I run the shower and the bathroom get hot, I'm breathing in secondhand smoke because you half-assed what you said you were going to do. Well, at the point where you say, I'm not fixing it, is the point that you have an utter disregard for my life, and I have an utter disregard for yours. So from this point on, until we have a third party to mediate the situation, to figure out what's more important, your money or my life, I want to hear it out of the mouth of somebody.
So what if they just let you out the lease? Would that be cool? See, because I hear you, but then again, see, because I hear you, but like I said, I mean, because there's no way that you would have been able to know that they used the wrong paint when you first moved in. But you signed the agreement.
Absolutely.
You signed the agreement to take the place, and you find something that is hazardous to your health.
Right.
Now, but it's something that for a majority of people wouldn't be a factor. And it's going to cost me money that I might not have. Right?
Right. Right.
We have an issue here. Me and you have a contract for the rent. You inspected the place, you checked it out, you was okay with it. You find an issue that I am not really able to fix. How do we handle that? You see what I'm saying? Because I want to get it back to skin in the game. Because
okay, but that's not the only option. It's like, with me, I'm happy. And so you know that in that same conversation, listen, if you cannot afford to do it, or you don't have the time to do it, I will do it. But you are not, but when you come to the point where, hell no, because that means I'm not getting all my money. Well, here we are again with this utter disregard for what's truly important in the conversation, which is my life. Without my life, you don't have my money. And at the end of the day, that's where you are in a battle with yourself, because you have entered into a business that you have no wherewithal for. And I'm going to show you. So by the time I tell you these words, by the time I tell you that what you fail to learn at my expense, adversity will teach you at your own, that means that I have no more faith in mediation between us. I'm going to let you go and do whatever you need to do to bump your head however many times you need to learn the lesson that at the end of the day, you should have just respected my wish. You should have just had a respect or a decency for or regard for me and my family, and you didn't. So that's why when I get done, stating my case and giving you all of the options, which are fair, and you push me against the wall to something that's not.
Why not just leave? Why not just come to the agreement?
If that was an option, Hatim.
I mean, I'm just saying
if that was an option. But the thing is that when you look at the reality of the situation, if what happens is that you have, well, in this particular case, you have a landlord that wages war on poor people, not poverty. And that's a behavior that I'm not down with. But you put me in a situation. So when you say, well, just go ahead and leave, with what resources? Because I came in here impoverished. I came in here, you knew that was the case. I'm not one to go and try to get Section 8 or anything like that, because I can work and I can pay for what is extended to me righteously. But what I will not do is pay you a recurring charge of something that you have not extended that is written into this contract.
Now, but see, because now with the argument that you're putting up, it's like you can find almost using that argument, you can find almost any excuse not to pay rent. Not that your excuse is not legitimate, but what I'm hearing is that you could, from what you're saying, I can find almost any reason not to pay rent and just stall a motherfucker out.
Absolutely.
See, that right there is not.
And it happens. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I know because shit, I went bankrupt because of that shit. Yeah, I mean you good. I mean because like I said, as a black man, I get into the business. In order to get into those businesses and really be able to be successful with them, either you got to have an extremely high income or you have to have wealth on the side or skills that you can get in and you can do a lot of that shit yourself. But even when you get shit fixed and motherfuckers turn around and be like still late with the rent, you know what I'm saying? It's like, boom, I don't have enough cushion to incur this fee, and I don't have enough money to pursue a motherfucker to get them out.
It's the wrong type of risk then, Hatem. It's the wrong type of risk. And that's why, like, listen, when I look at it like this, right, when I look at the situation where, all right, I might take it a step further, right? And after they put a writ out to say, all right, well, you got 10 days to be gone. All right, well, I'll follow that up with a motion to stay while we're going through this appeal.
But you're still existing in a place that you say.
Tim?
Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, it's Kim. How are you guys doing?
What's up, Sister Kim? How you doing?
I'm good. So I was just listening in, and I was, I said, this is how I'm hearing this. I'm hearing that, yes, you're in a situation where you are financially challenged, but you actually functioning from a position of privilege. All of this you're talking about, the paint on the wall, the fumes coming out when you take your shower, like, how can that be proven? And how is that in the contract? I don't know how that could be in the contract. How do you
what we're talking
that?
about, and let me just say this. The ultimate conversation is about skin in the game.
Right.
And I'm not here to prove or disprove anything. That's what the judge is for. However, what it comes down to is that when you deal with a basic individual that don't know that they got these cards to play, then they'll do exactly what you recommended. Just move into a place where, However, what I'm saying is that when you understand the game, because you done win a few rounds and got beat up in it, or you done win a few rounds and you done won a little bit, well, now you know how to play it, the game. And now you know that everything ain't black and white. You are not just accepting what is handed to you because somebody says that that's what it is. And that's my point.
That's your point. Okay. Right. I mean, I see your point from what you're saying in terms of skin in the game. I mean, if you're a tenant, obviously you have skin in the game, but if you're a landlord, owner, you have skin in the game too. And, a landlord the tenant is the landlord's customer. And you want to keep your customer happy. And the customer also wants to maintain the property so that they can, be happy. So it's supposed to be a reciprocal relationship.
Right.
And that's how I think the law is laid down. It's reciprocal. But what I'm saying is that reciprocal relationship is a privileged position because in many places, owners, it's not reciprocal. You're not on the same playing field as owner. Owner's way above, and they can dictate things to you. Even in the United
believe me,
States,
Cleveland Heights, where I live at, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. In Cleveland Heights, when you go to the judge that I would go to for that type of case, the judge 100% of the time favors the landlord
Okay.
because the landlord has made the investment,
Yes.
right? But
Yes.
when you go into the 8th District Court of Appeals in Ohio, well, we ain't talking no suburban language no more. We talking real life Cleveland. And when you step into that, the whole thing changes. And that's why you can go into this suburb and go in there with a half-assed lawyer and everything is just going to pan out the way it's going to pan out because it was determined before they even set the date on it.
Oh yeah, because everything is leaning towards the owner.
Right.
The owner.
And so here's the piece: is that when I took that owner to court, and I was pro se,
Cleveland,
and the judge who already had determined that he was going to go in favor of the landlord, asked me to cross-examine the witness, and I asked the landlord, can you justify an $80 gas bill after 2 weeks of residence in the mid of June in a space, you understand? And he said, no, I cannot. And you say, do you recall the picture of the refrigerator that doesn't close at the beginning of the lease that I shot you in the email? And he says, yes, I do remember that. Do you know the risk of overworking a refrigerator, the shock risk, the fire risk of overworking a refrigerator that does not close and is constantly trying to cool the entire house because you have a faulty door? Do you understand the risk that plays to my family? No. Okay, so this is where you are in over your head because it is my family, my life, my everything that I'm protecting, and that's what you have an utter disregard for.
But
now, if this court determines that they share that regard, what's that?
Why don't you go get your own refrigerator?
Oh, that's a real simple question, but I'm
asking
in one word, indigency.
Because now I'm coming from a standpoint of
not only is it indigency, but listen to what I'm saying, Hatim. But it's written in the lease.
All right, now cool.
If the owner has to fix the refrigerator and provide a new
if that's in the lease, you are right. See, this is why I go into places and either, like I said, I go and get my own utilities or I make sure the utilities are straight. I hear you. See, but understand where I'm hearing it from. Because you know how the system works.
If you went to go get a flat screen from something simple, if you went to go get a flat screen TV from Walmart and you told them the model number and everything and you got that right and you paid the right amount, not no sales price, this is what you wanted, this is what you paid for it. And you took it home and found out that the remote that was supposed to come with it did not come with it because it was a refurbished piece. What's your next move?
Oh, I'm going back to the store. I'm gonna get they're gonna replace
That's what I'm doing. I'm going back to the store, Hatim. I'm going back to the store owner. So what you wrote in this contract is not real, and my money, which is real, we need to renegotiate something because I'm not paying you this overall price for half of what I signed up for.
I hear you. Now bring it back around to skin in the game, man. Come on now, skin in the game.
That's skin in the game, Hatim.
All right, no, that's kind of like I hear you. All right, cool. So you making sure that you get as a renter, you making sure that you get everything out of the relationship that you are supposed to extract. Everything that's coming to you, you are pulling out. But all right, so now once you got everything, because my concern, because what I'm hearing is that, and please don't get it wrong. What I'm hearing is that you could find anything and be like, this motherfucker's not upholding the lease. And you will stall the motherfucker out. if it's an ADOS dude, or even if it's somebody who's just getting into real estate, and you you bankrupt their ass.
No, what you got to understand is that the factor that plays really huge in this situation, see, because you got to understand this too. For the past 12 years, I had rented from the same individual.
Right.
We didn't have these kind of situations, Tim.
Uh-huh.
We didn't. I move into another situation. We have no relationship at all. And up front, right after the signing of the lease, you get real funky and disrespectful and disregarding. And that's the part where I have to become disregarding as well. I'm not going to disrespect you because it's not in my nature to, but at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that you respect me. And if that protocol is not filled,
right,
then we do not pass go. I don't care if you ADOS. I don't care if you're from Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand. If your mom.
I understand.
At the end of the day, if you don't respect me.
I hear you. But why not come to an agreement? Why not tell the person, listen, I know how the system works. Dude, I'll stall you out for 2 years. I want to be out my lease so that I can find me someplace else where somebody will respect me.
I mean, at the beginning, yes. And how come at the end of the day it comes out of this? If I'm going to put $1,500 in the air in Cleveland during a time of gentrification, I would much rather slide down the hill with that $1,500 and own a whole house for $1,500 to $2,500, which, if you look on OfferUp, Craigslist, is the norm for houses in the hood right now. Is a norm.
But what I'm saying is, so now
chances are that you can buy.
But why? I mean, but so what does that? What does that got? You're renting right now. So I got a question. I'm hearing you. You're renting right now. Mm-hmm. So what stopped you from getting $1,500 and doing that, rather than going into, huh? So what? I mean, renting prevented you from doing that, which was a discussion that we had at the ADOS conference, because it's a permanent extraction of wealth from us. I hear you. So renting. So so your plan is to extract the $1,500 from stalling this motherfucker out, and then.
So no. Listen. Because I think that what skews the conversation is your compassion.
Yeah, I'm very compassionate.
And your empathy.
And my empathy.
To the landlord.
Yeah.
And okay, so right now, I got to say, let's stop being so sensitive about it and move into independence. This is how I do it.
Okay.
I'm not saying that this is how you got to do it, but at the end of the day, if I got to stall somebody for 3 months to be able to get the monies in hand, to be able to own my own land, so be it.
But now this is the question.
Compared to our path to privilege.
Shaka, so what I'm hearing is, see, I don't even know. So your goal is not to get the landlord to be righteous and do what they're supposed to do. Your goal is to stall out and save up money so that you can move on. Is this what I'm hearing?
A lot more exponential than that, but the bottom line is, yeah, I came in here on the path.
See now, but family, listen. Now, an important part to understand, what Shaka is doing, Shaka is using the game to get what he wants. Now, he has substantial skin in the game. Along with, he's ripping the skin off off of somebody else too, which is something that has been happening to us for a long time. No, see, but Chuck, see, because the piece is, people need to hear what you're saying and understand, because now I understand you have a strategy. And since you went into a relationship with somebody who initially is not taking care of their responsibilities with you, you are deciding that you are going to get what you need to move on. I have no problem with that. But when I'm talking about skin in the game, family, you know what I'm saying? He got some skin, but like, for example, Shaka is leveraging the amount of skin he got And he's going to extract a little bit more so that he could be able to do something else. Family, also, when we're talking about skin in the game, let me be very clear. I'm going to read this definition for y'all one more time, because I'm talking about, because this is part of it, but as far as us building up our collective, building up our communities, building up our families. Do you have skin in the game? To have skin in the game is to have incurred risk, monetary or otherwise, by being involved in achieving a goal. Incurred risk. What have you put up? What have you put up on the table? If what you are doing fails, how will it affect you? Will there be an out from you, or will there be a momentary pause and then you move on to the next thing? See, because what I see happening in our communities, we got a lot of, as they used to call them back in the day, grifters. I'm just going to benefit from this as much as I can, and when I can't benefit no more, I'm going to move on. And then when I can't benefit from this no more, I'm going to move on. And there's no attachment. There is no skin in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like being a stock market person, and you are telling people about this incredible stock offer. But yet and still, it's so incredible, you don't have any money invested in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like telling people about a movement that's incredible, but yet you haven't spent absolutely no time nor invested in any form of fashion in this movement.
And that's the thing too, Hot Tim, is that when people listen, sometimes movement takes a shape where all they see is you getting knocked in the head. Like, you look at the same path that I just told you about. 16 years of rocking pro se in man's court, right? You've been there in court with me when I just get knocked in the head a little bit, and they do it in such a way that you don't know what happened until sometime after it happened.
Right. Just a little bit of time. Right? Just a little bit at a time. I feel you. Yeah, that's how that's how the system works. Right. Go ahead.
And so when you deal with that, and you're like, yo, I got this movement that's based out of this type of injustice, all they see is you getting knocked in your head. They don't see how the game could change once they step shoulder to shoulder with you. They don't see that. Why? Because we are trying to move people out of fear-based captivity into a faith-based existence. And so if what you present doesn't create the imagery of this place of milk and honey, God, they're not willing to go with you most of the way. It's like, send us a postcard when you get to the point where things start looking up. Shoot me your GoFundMe. I might drop $10 in just to say I did. At the end of the day, until they see the point where it's like, hey, we can take it all, they ain't sliding into formation until somebody get that call.
I will even challenge.
Your West is the closest.
I will even challenge that. Some people could even see that and still not invest, because I think there's a lot of people that are, especially in our community, that are able to make their living is connected to our failure. So
yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? Like, in a sense, like what you're doing in Cleveland with a lot of those landlords in Cleveland Heights and people coming in there are people that are gentrifying. So this is why, see, because you coming from a different point than I'm coming from, because you have experienced gentrification firsthand, and you like, they saying fuck us, I'm saying fuck them. Motherfucker, I'm gonna stay in this motherfucker as long as I can for free. Fuck what you got going on, and I'm going to extract wealth out of you just like you extracting wealth out of those other 5 individuals that you are taking advantage of in those dilapidated properties that you have. I understand.
Absolutely.
I feel you. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
I mean, see, the thing is that now this is what I'll say, and I've said it to you before, but let's put this in context. Your comfort zone might be a beautiful place. It might be the most beautiful place in your universe, but nothing grows there.
Yeah, nothing. You right.
And so at the end of the day, when you in your comfort zone and you getting a funky attitude about me while I'm in my zone, well, something's got to budge. And I'm saying to you, you thought it was real comfortable just to put those stickers up on my door that to make me feel more uncomfortable. It could have worked, but I knew that. By the time you came up with the real letter, some months later, all right, now I'm ready to boogie because this is what I set this whole thing up for. And seeing that, I could have just as well paid my rent to the courts, which they would have withheld until after the proceedings. But I don't want that to happen in Cleveland Heights because the Cleveland Heights going to take my money and give it right to him despite what I say. So I had to take it to 8th District Court of Appeal because that's where I'll get my fair shake. So, like I said,
well,
even with that,
actually, you won't get your fair shake. You get the time that you need, and how can I put it? Because it's not really a fair shake. It's like that's where you in that court you have the advantage that he would have in the first set of courts. So you're stalling out for your advantage. So you're leveraging. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel you.
Right.
I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of compassionate. I kind of feel for the owner, but I feel you too. You know what I'm saying? Shit, work your plan. Listen. Skin in the game requires for you to be able to suffer significant losses if something don't go through. And black folks, one of the reasons I want to do this article or have this conversation with you is because many of us we have skin in a lot of games that are being played that we don't know about. And we're just sitting on the sidelines because we don't even know that people are using our skin. They're leveraging all the little pieces that they're taking from us, and they have it in the game. And soon as the game plays out, the skin is going to be extracted and we're going to be saying ouch. Listen, I want you to understand, when he's talking about gentrification in Cleveland Heights, we can see the same thing in Columbus. We think that it does not affect us because many of us are sitting in somewhat comfortable situations. But as he says, in a comfortable situation, nothing grows. See, and a lot of us, we want to be in these comfort zones, not realizing that freedom has never been comfortable. Freedom doesn't mean that you are able to sleep in all day. That's not freedom. That's not freedom. You understand what I'm saying? We have to really start redefining stuff and really start looking at it and seeing where we have skin in the game and really get active, because we are going to feel the pain whether or not we are playing the game. When these people, when Antonio Moore and them pulled these numbers together and said that our wealth level will be at 0 by 2053 and our median wealth level right now is at $1,700, I was bothered. This means that a significant amount of people that look like me may be at 0 right now, amount of wealth. Shaka is saying in Cleveland Heights right now, you could buy you a place for $1,700 and fix it up. How many?
Not in Cleveland Heights. Down the hill in East Cleveland.
Oh, down the hill in East Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
And let me say this though, there are entitled individuals who can pull $1,500 to $5,000 properties out of thin air in Cleveland Heights. But what does that take? It takes for them to have some skin in the game and a relationship with the Cuyahoga Land Bank. Because here's what happened, Hatem. There was a house across the street from me on Goodnore Avenue a couple of years ago. Single family home, just like the one I'm moving into. Okay? 3 bedrooms, that's all I needed. It was on a land bank, and it was scheduled for demo. when you find a land bank property that is scheduled for demo, you can throw in your bid. You can throw in a bid of $5,000, and if nobody else wants it, that house is yours, as long as you can prove that you have a comprehensive financial plan to renovate it, right?
And that's where the problem
let me say this,
for most of
because
us.
there might be some folks listening that'll go on the Cleveland Land Bank list and look for everything that's scheduled for demo. As long as it's scheduled and not contracted, you can still get it. If it's contracted, that means that somebody is already being paid to demo it. If it's scheduled, that means that there's been no contract yet. Anything that is scheduled for demo, you can go on there, put your bid in, and you got it for $5,000. If you acquire it into a 501(c), you can have all the taxes wiped off of it. All right? This is the game right now. So those who got little money, like the little money I was looking for last year for that church, that's exactly what I was into. But I did not have the individual capital to pull it together myself. And so right now,
I'm sorry, guys. I had to let go for a second. My daughter called me from the United States, so of course I had to take that call. But so you said you were trying to get a church last year, but the deal fell through?
Yeah.
Money. Well, it was money.
Yes. It all came down to money. Well, it came down to loyalties and it came down to money. Last year, I won on a private auction a church that had 4 parcels, and it was 75% of an acre. Actually, 75% of that city block.
Oh, wow.
And when it came down to me paying the 10%, I went to my close folks that I knew would have it, and I would say 70% of them went around my back to try to see if they paid the money, if they could get the deed in their name. And so when the Jewish auctioneer saw this behavior, he said, well, this guy ain't going to be able to get it. And by the time I came to the situation with the money, he had already burnt the house down so that me and my son couldn't move into it. And within the following week, that auctioneer had that site on his website for sale, not for auction.
So the people who you were working with, I'm assuming they're ADOS. Little money they had, they weren't ADOS.
No.
The investors.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
They were not ADOS.
Yes. I'm saying you're right. I mean, they might not have been in the consciousness of the organization, but yes, they were ADOS.
But so the little money they had to invest in it, they wanted to be guaranteed a return, which is have their name on the deed. They didn't trust that putting their money together and they would get something out of it. Got it. And for me, I think that comes from the fact that we just don't have that much to gamble with.
Yeah. And those that do want to make sure that they are getting, because they know that it's not coming back. Want to make sure they got certain guarantees. So I will try to get this property up from up under you. It's 75% of a block. I don't know. Maybe I can open up some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he was talking about a total arts facility, which would be how can I put it? The financial return would not be as great as if I turned that shit into a mall. You know what I'm saying? Into a complex where I can collect rent or possibly have a strip mall on it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, that's the thing, is that what I'm talking about, Hatem, is not just a facility. I'm talking about an intergenerational artist community.
Right.
All right. Now let me Let me break something down to you.
Go ahead.
Because one of the significance of the property is that it's right next door to the old St. Luke's Hospital, which was turned into an intergenerational school as well as a residence for a retirement community. So this process had already been done in that ward, and they understood all the language that I was talking, all right? And the way that it happened and the way that I dissected the strategy that they used, this old hospital had nothing in it. It was just sitting there for almost a decade, if not more. And they took the part that was salvageable, that was livable, and they moved the retirement community in there. And what did that do? That guaranteed them the FHA 202 redevelopment loan, which has no cap to it. So now they can build it up into whatever they need to, whether they're making money or not. At the end of the day, they have an intergenerational school, which has rave reviews. If you look at the educational process, all of that is right there. They've already situated a whole different behavior on the campus of this old St. Luke's Hospital. Right next door to it and across the street is a church, the Hungarian church, that's been owned by the Hungarians for over 100 years and was on auction to be sold to someone outside of the Hungarian community. And that was me. And so when we look at the job and the benefit for us as a people to have a territory with a distinct behavior that's producing an economic life for those residents there and the surrounding community, because on the other side of that church is a whole HUD development. The next 2 blocks is just HUD. All right. So my positioning could have really resurrected that community into something that is independent, something that is out, something that even benefits financially or economically all the residents in that HUD environment.
All right, because I think our line dropped. So, family.
I think I heard it.
Right. So, family, the key point that I'm trying to bring up is, because like even with Shaka's piece, skin in the game, you know what I'm saying, family, we are not going to get anything if we are not truly invested in what we're doing. And in many cases, money is not enough either. You know what I'm saying? Where's your time? You know what I'm saying? We got to pour real libations. Let's just keep it all the way real. Real libations, blood, sweat, and tears. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What would happen, because this is how you could tell if you have skin in the game. What would happen if the organizations that, let's say, pick the major organization in your life that you go to. What would happen to you if that organization closed? If it shut down? What does it mean for your life? What does it mean for your life financially? What does it mean? Go ahead.
You gotta find a new way.
So now, if it's just that simple, did you really have skin in the game? If it's
That's the point, is that it's not that simple. It's never going to be that simple. But that's what happened to us. We had skin. Listen, I bet you our people had skin in the game, was probably doing whatever we needed to do before we got taken out of our territory and put in a brand new place.
Even here.
And so whatever skin in the game.
But now what I'm saying is it was big enough to where it wasn't just like you could jump right back in and just do it again. It was at such a loss that it took time for you to rebound. You know what I'm saying? If you could turn around and rebuild something right away, the question that has to be asked is, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it's sort of like being in a relationship. Wait, it's sort of like hold on. It's sort of like being in a relationship for 5 years with somebody, and y'all break up. And the next week, that person is with somebody else. You're like, well, goddamn. I guess what we was doing was you wasn't really invested in. You know what I'm saying? You already in love with another motherfucker right now? That soon? And this is how a lot of us treat these things. I mean, when we talk about nation building or tribe building, or a lot of us, we treat these organizations like this, and we really need to really get involved because and really get up in there and allow some of these because some of these emotions, because I know some people like, you don't need to be emotional, but shit, emotion gives energy to a lot of projects where we could really be vested in some of this shit so that we could fight to keep that goddamn thing alive or fight to take it over because we are emotionally, financially connected to it. When Wall Street, when Black Wall Street, or when they destroyed Mount Vernon here in Columbus, you know what I'm saying? People were thrown back, and as a matter of fact, a lot of our cities, including Cleveland, where there was a strong black community at one point in time, because we had to have one, you know what I'm saying? And once they came through with these expressways, what I'm telling you is that some of us were thrown so far back that we still, as a group, have not recovered from that shit.
Right.
Please understand, family, that when they come through with these expressways, they're taking out the center. When they came through, they took out the center of the economic life of our people.
Right.
They
right.
detonated.
I told
Go ahead.
I told somebody old school what happened to that church, or what happened to the house on the church, and a man said, "Oh, they burnt it down, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, they did the same thing to Black Wall Street." So when you look at what they know and what they apply and what they pull from in terms of power, we need to pay attention to those narratives.
Oh man,
because I had no idea.
See, but what I'm challenging,
you know what I mean?
what I'm challenging people to do is to not just look at Black Wall Street. Look at the black. Look at where you are, or where the black community was, where you are now. Just go back and check out pictures from 1940 to the early 60s. Find out where there was a thriving black community, because family, I want y'all to think about this. Detroit, New York, Connecticut, Virginia, Ohio, all these states. I want you to think about
especially here, Hatem. Let me say this right quick.
Go ahead.
Let me say this right quick. You look at, like, my dad grew up on 92nd and St. Clair.
Right.
All right. Kind of a popular area here, but you look at the difference between 92nd and St. Clair back then and 92nd and St. Clair today. You look at any city in Ohio and you apply this what they call a rule of thumb. If you get rid of the corner property, if you demo the corner property, that whole block becomes impoverished. Because what happens is nature takes care of the rest. If you nullify the corner property, burn it down, demolition it, what happens is that all the trash of the entire neighborhood, the wind blows it right into that space. And what happens to the market value to everything else on that block?
It drops.
Right? So this is intentional. This has been practiced in the inner city. And it happens from city to city. So I want you to look at your city and look at where you grew up with. Does it have a corner business, a cornerstone property?
Right, cornerstone. That's a cornerstone of the community. And if it is a cornerstone, do we own it?
Right.
See, because my issue is, big ups to Black Wall Street, but I'm so sick of people pushing it up as if it was the bastion, the only place that was destroyed like that. When we as a people have been building, we was building stuff all over this goddamn country. And now it's all gone. See, because I don't want people to get to the mind state where we start thinking that it was only in Black Wall Street that we was doing something and they bombed it. Then they had little Rosewood, poor little Rosewood. Nigga, think about West Akron. You know what I'm saying? East,
and think about, something that I just learned last night, talking to an elder. You remember that song by the Gap Band?
Yeah, that's about Black Wall Street. But you taking it back to Black Wall Street. But now, check this out.
Okay, my bad.
Niggas Are Scared of Revolution was written about what happened during the riots in Akron, Ohio. Now, we had black centers everywhere because we had to have them because it was segregation. So we had to provide a lot of our own services. Family, look and check. Where are you? And really, let me make the search real simple for you. Look in your city where the expressway go through. Go to your public library and look up what was in that area prior to the expressway coming through. Check where your interbelts are. The interbelts are the expressways that run around the city, right? Find what was there prior to. You knock out the economic heart.
And
economics is the heart of a community.
I was about to say it's not rocket science, but it is social science.
Oh, it is social science.
If you study social...
Go ahead.
Yeah. It's social science. You look at, because I remember coming up, I don't know if you had this, Hakim, but we had a social studies class called Ohio. All right? Mm-hmm. And knowing everything from the state bird to the state flower to the whatever. And then we took a trip around Huck and found out about the Huck riot that was happening at the same time as the riots in Cincinnati and in Watts County in California. All of these riots was happening at the same time, and why, right? Mm-hmm. But the piece is that in Cleveland, Cleveland is shaped like a donut. It's a central zone. That's what the donut represents. So in the middle, you got downtown, which historically is where we flourish because through iron ore and our industrial, it was an industrial city.
Right.
And so that's where all the wealth was being made from downtown. And then the ring around downtown was supposed to be impoverished. In the rings that go outward, the more outward you go, the more you go into the suburbs. Now what's happening is they're trying to flip the rings. So now we got to get these broke people from the projects around downtown that we invented. We got to get rid of the projects and move them to the outskirts so that we can move the wealthy closer to downtown where there's new money. So you got all of these old folks, or not old folks, old families and old money on the outer rings that right now know that in order for them to survive, they got to move inward towards the new money because that's where the wave of the city is going. So it's gentrification. It's a whole process, and if you ain't motivated inside of it to create your world within the city, you're irrelevant.
Skin in the game, family. So I want to do this toast because me and my girls, we gotta go. I gotta go and get some stuff. Somebody said, "What's up?" Who is that? Miss Navita. Welcome, Miss Navita. Where you been? You all right?
What's up, Navita?
I think that's her, but I can't see. See, the chats are not popping up. Okay, there you go. What's up with the mall? Oh, we will be having our mall on 1026. 1026. We have to have the mall. I'm gonna have to have a meet with the family because I got some new information that we have to sit down and we have to chop up. And maybe we might be able to do this a little bit before the mall. I'm thinking about possibly setting up a conference call tomorrow for the tribe, so that we because Navita can't really move right now. And we don't want to, but we could go and we could do a conference call and sit down and break down the future of the G&J Mall. And there's probably Navita in here right now. What's going on? Who that?
Well, you know who it is. You know who it is. You know what it is.
You ain't got to be calling in like
I'm
you
just
some
calling
type
to
of
get some
gangster.
details about the mall. I've been accosted about the mall.
You been
When
accosted by
are we
who?
gonna have it? No, they didn't accost me, but I've been
That would be
asked
good.
about the mall.
That's good. We
Yeah,
will.
people want to sign up. They want to know how to vent. So, I haven't seen any
Flyers. Why you ain't put
not
the flyer
very
up?
much promotion.
Why you ain't put the flyer up?
I sent you a flyer.
Why you ain't put it up?
I did.
You put it up on our site?
No, I didn't. I put it there, but I figured if you would do that, that's why I sent it to you.
Girl, I mean, it's been crazy
You
for me
can
this
put it
week.
up.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. We got to talk. Sis, we got to talk. We got to talk. It's getting deep. It's getting deep.
We do gotta talk,
But anyway,
it's
yeah.
evil that lurks.
You said who?
But real quick, I would like to say before we hang up and before you get into the toast, Gye-Nyame, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the Gye-Nyame movement, because Gye-Nyame is not just a organization, it's a movement, meaning that it makes progress, that we're doing things, and I'm glad to be a part of it in the direction that it's been going. There was a conversation yesterday that I wish Brother Kwame would have been there, and shout out to Brother Kwame. He's not feeling well.
What? Oh, I got to get his drink. I'm going to get his drink
vibes
together.
to Brother Kwame. But they got into the fact that, it concerns me when I hear our people say we ain't doing nothing.
I hate that shit. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I do too. That's why I thought that Kwame was there. I'm like, I don't know about y'all, but we at Gye-Nyame, we doing something. Well, I don't know what y'all doing outside of here, but at Gye-Nyame, we doing something. We don't just meet and do nothing. We have made, in my opinion, and I've only been in the organization a short time, but I always see progress and movement within the organization. Always. So I don't know. And we do different programs. We do, we help with the youth. We do different things. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, they were talking about, well, we don't send no kids to college. Ain't nobody doing nothing to send no kids to college. Well, that's not the only thing that can be done out there. And
That's what I'm saying.
With Gye-Nyame, though,
I'm sending my kids to college.
well, we're talking about organizations. They were talking about organizations who would pay for somebody's whole college tuition.
I know.
But
I know.
I mean, and he joking, but like I said, I mean, a lot of this shit. I mean, it's like, so in order for us to be doing stuff, we got to do it just like white folks would be doing it, or it's not really recognized, or it's not really supported. Once again, that's that not having skin in the game, and a lot of people use that as a reason for why they're not involved, why they don't invest, why they don't do shit, and it's getting down to a point where in some of these conversations and stuff like this, family, turn and run. When you sit at a table with a group of motherfuckers that want to meet on a weekly basis and then turn around and talk about what you're not doing, what we're not doing, then you got to look around at the group and be like, well, what the fuck we meeting for? You understand what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm sitting up here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What do you mean we not doing nothing? You don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
And that comes down to my golden statement, man. You know why I don't deal with those kind of people? Because number one, those kind of people that say that y'all ain't doing, or they ain't doing, they saying it behind your back. And so I'm speaking from a space of an individual that's going through that, let alone an organization. All right. When people talk smack about you, 9 times out of 10, you ain't there. unless they feel they have something to gain by calling you out publicly. All right? And in that case, it's really a matter of your skin in the game. But when it comes to random people sitting on their hands and speculating, saying that y'all ain't doing nothing, I'm sitting here watching, at the end of the day, yo, I'm the one that gets paid for entertaining. You know what I mean? I don't care if I got my horn out and I walk into the bar. I don't care how fine you is, and you like, I love a man with a horn. Play that shit for me. At the end of the day, are you paying me?
What? But she fine. But she fine.
What incentive do I have to play my horn for you right now?
There you go.
What
That's the right
incentive do I
question.
have?
That's the right question. Are you paying me? Are we doing some type of exchange? It's reciprocity in the room, baby. You know what I'm saying? But
Exactly.
and it's like, and then also I want us to, because like I said, it's important that we research what we are and where we come from. And what I mean by that, because it fits America's narrative for us to only talk about Greenwood, about Black Wall. It fits the narrative. See, y'all niggas wasn't doing nothing. You had to go all the way to Greenwood, Missouri, in order for us to find you doing something. When right now in Columbus, there's enough elders who was alive before the fucking expressways where you could go and talk about. I had elders. I was riding in the car with an elder, and elder pointed out a building that I didn't even know was a hotel. Right off of Mount Vernon, right around the corner from the Urban League. And they told me all of the stars that used to come to stay there because they couldn't stay in the white hotels, and they would go right up and down that strip to perform. Family. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know where you're talking about.
Right.
But
It's a beautiful building.
But I want people to realize, that there are people that are doing something. And when they say we are not doing that, I take offense to that because just like you, and I feel like everybody in Gye-Nyame, man, we got skin in the game.
Got skin in the motherfucking game.
We got skin in the game. And we are doing things, and maybe because you don't see it, I don't know, but we doing things. And this one sister, she wanted to be a part of it. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about in class. We was in class last night. But, they're like, all we want to do is sit around and read books. No, that's not what I do. You know what I'm saying? And we've got a whole generation of young folks at Gye-Nyame that we are prepping
for the next
the next takeover or whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we are doing something. And then, they talked about the politics. Well, ain't nobody doing nothing in politics. I'm like, we are.
Shit.
Now, then you said that she was trying to put up for a seat on city council. You had named her.
Sister Tiandra.
Okay. It was another sister. You were talking about I can't remember.
Oh,
anyway.
the one we about to have a meeting with in a view. She's running for a state seat. I'm just like I said. My fault. She wants a federal seat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so we're trying to get ready for many levels of the game, and it's like, it's just like family. It's just we here. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my piece is, you don't have to be part of us, but don't lump us all into this, we ain't doing shit, and then we consider doing something, sending somebody to college. When we could look at the numbers and see that in most cases, college is a fucking hustle. These motherfuckers you got kids graduating as teachers, making $50,000 to $60,000 a year with $250,000 worth of debt. What? You know what I'm saying? What we need to be fighting for, we need to be fighting for some reforms so that they could go to college like some of you motherfuckers who up here screaming we ain't do nothing. It was a time where somebody could work. Go ahead. Wait, hold on, let me finish. There was a time where someone could work part-time and pay college and go to college and pay for the shit. And I'm talking back in the days when when the minimum wage was like $2.25? What the fuck happened?
$3.35. I remember because when I was in college, minimum wage was $3.35, and I didn't finish, but I went to school for 2 years, and the only debt I had when I left college was $500.
So what happened? Ain't like
That's the only debt I had.
Ain't like education got any better.
Navita, I mean, when I hear somebody say y'all ain't doing nothing.
No, they say no. No. Chaka, she said it like she said it. She ain't say y'all. You sitting in a group, they having a study group, and they say, well, we ain't doing nothing but reading books. Chaka, we ain't doing nothing. But we ain't sending nobody to college.
That's what the study group is for, the purpose of reading.
Exactly.
But outside of there, you know what I'm saying? You can't say, I don't know what the reading talking about, but I'm doing something. And we are doing something. And I don't understand how you could say that we ain't doing no one. That's because Kwame always gets, when Kwame's in class and they talk that, he's like, hold up a minute now. I ain't trying to hear that because I know we doing something. You know, Kwame would have been in class last night. He would have felt some kind of way.
That's why they said it, because he wasn't there.
Because
and they thought, wait, hold on, they thought you weren't going to be there. Go ahead, Chaka.
And listen to this too. And another thing that I'm noticing, that people think you ain't doing nothing if you are not, like it was a push for investing in the stock market and things like that. And if you ain't doing these type of things, then you ain't really doing nothing. But that's not true either. There's several ways to do something, and it doesn't have to be, you know what I'm saying, investing in stock or whatever. You know, it's just like, you know, we already talked about and have on the table about trying to have a building. And, you know, we could, you know, we as Gye-Nyame, we put money in the pot and we do the damn thing, you know what I'm saying? And we could do just as well as in the future having our own building. You know what I'm saying? And I see that coming into fruition if need be.
Right. If by the time we are sitting around and half of us think we building and half of us think we bullshit, it's something about the process that has to be revisited. And let me explain.
Go ahead, because I'm about to get you.
I belong to an organization, and how Tim, you do too, that the key piece is we don't recruit. You got to ask one to be one. And so the piece is that by the time someone says, hey, I want to be a part of your organization, they already hooked because they believe in what they're searching for is understanding, which is why by the time you're sitting down and you read them, that's what they ask for. The piece is that if we go out there outwardly recruiting, saying, hey, come along with us, this is what we doing.
We don't recruit.
We bringing people in that's still looking at us on the side. I'm like, all right, well, what's this? And what's the shared incentive? And what's the outcome going to be? Right? If they ain't sold on the overall big picture, then that's when they start second guessing your leadership. And that's the piece, is that when you got people who are on that path, second guessing your leadership, well, that's not a part of initiation. That's not supposed to be a part of initiation. Initiation is about follow your guide and fear no danger. And at the end of the day, if you're not following based on that age-old principle, then that process needs to be repaired. Not the candidate, not the leader, the process. And so that's all.
Shaka, because I'm totally agree with me. Because one of the things we don't do, we don't recruit, and also we have an initiation process. Because once again, you're born into a family. That's your initiation into that family. They know that you belong there, right? But in a sense, with our tribe, you in a sense have to come through and have to be reborn. There's certain things that you have to learn about the tribe or relearn that you was taught before. So it's like, so you sitting in the room and somebody say, well, we ain't doing nothing. And actually, most of the work that needs to be done, some of us don't need to be in the conversation any goddamn way. Because Shaka, because this is the only piece that I'm gonna argue with you on. If half of us is saying that we're getting busy and half of us not, I don't think the process is broke, because the key piece that all of us need to understand is never been a mass group of people that made shit happen. It's always been a stubborn minority. And what we are formulating with Gye-Nyame is a stubborn minority. And I need people to understand that and respect that. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like some of the shit that I do. But understand that we're formulating a stubborn minority. That's it. You know what I'm saying? The whole piece is, when we moving to do something, right, we going to see it through. We have a story in Gye-Nyame.
You just don't want to rent to a stubborn minority, is what you're saying.
You say who?
I said you just don't want to rent to a stubborn minority. Is that what you're saying?
Oh shit, no. After talking to you, hell no. I'm not renting. If I have property and I smell a whiff of a motherfucker on there, a stubborn, Shaka, because what you're doing is, as an individual stubborn minority, and there's probably a whole nother group of you out there, they are going to have to change the laws to deal with that shit. When it start hitting those individuals in society in the pocket, dog, they will change the laws in a heartbeat on that shit. You already know that. You know what I'm saying? Because because they understand that. How can I put it? They understand. They put people in place to make shit happen for them, so that society flows in their favor. And what we have to start doing is doing the same thing. And family, I know this is going to catch some of y'all shocked. It might shock you, but college is not always the best method of doing that shit. We need to be setting up some
Absolutely not.
We need to be setting up some institutions that where we have access to young people, and we are able to expose young people to nation building information that helps them build specifically for us, because other people have those institutions for them. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't just talking about ancient history shit. Some of y'all get caught up in this whole ancient history shit, and we getting beat the fuck up right now. So until I'm challenging those out there, until you are able to take your ancient information and make that shit usable in the struggle that we have now, because we're looking at economic extinction. How am I supposed to really, in any form of fashion, be able to compete in the society with my competition? I'm said at the median, my group has $1,700 without the car and all the other shit that we want to throw in there and say that, you know, if it can't be turned to quick cash, $1,700 available to me, and 50% of the population, and some of us got more, right? But I know where I'm at. I'm not necessarily going to tell you where I'm at, right? But what I'm going to say is, how is my group supposed to compete with a whole nother group whose the median income after you take the car, the median is $140,000? And how is that shit even possible without them having people working on behalf of their benefit, working for their benefit? Where is ours? We have to get to a point where we are willing to invest skin in the game so that we can start preparing ourselves and our young people to start getting some of this policy to work for us if we're going to be here. Because a lot of y'all are under the illusion that y'all going to take y'all little $1,700 and go to another country. That shit ain't going to happen. See, and because this is the next question I'm asking motherfuckers. Right? Because I used to be on the Pan-African piece and stuff like that. This is what I'm going to start asking. First off, have you ever been to Africa? If no, then shut the fuck up. Second, my next question. Have you ever been broke in Africa? Any part. Whole different experience. Let me tell you, I was broke for about 6 hours. My transfer didn't go through. I didn't have no money. Total different experience. And you know what I respected? I respected the fact that I could be broke in America and still be able to get around that motherfucker. Listen, family, y'all really need to understand, because some of us, without having skin in the game, right? Because when you invest in something and you connect with something, when it's in pain, you feel the pain. If you're not in an organization like that, if you're not in a family like that, if you're not in a tribe like that, I don't know what you're doing. Either you're not invested or they're not really invested in what's going on. Sister Navita done hung up on me.
Hey, and let me say this.
Oh, no, that was
too,
Brother
man.
Tim. Tim, why you hang up?
Hang up.
Brother Tim, where you going, man? He probably got to cut some hair because it is the barber's day. But go ahead.
I didn't hang up. But what you say, Shaka is gone?
No, Brother Tim.
No, I'm right here. I had something to say. Mind buffer. All right, go ahead.
All right, so
Well,
now.
anyway, so the movement may be slow to call, or whatever, but just to say that people ain't doing anything.
You
I
ain't
think,
doing nothing, Sister Navita. Y'all ain't doing nothing. We
So
ain't.
I find that, I find offense that, you know what I'm saying, to suggest that we just sit
Hell yeah,
and
that can be offensive. I was at a grant interview on Wednesday night, and before I came into the interview, and they was reading what I wrote, they were not computing. It was not computing. It did not sound like something that they could understand to be able to put money toward. I sat in at the interview, and they just asked me plainly, well, can you explain your project? And I'm like, yeah. And while I'm explaining the project, I'm talking about the music. I'm talking about the June. I'm talking about, entrepreneurship and all of this. And then I pull out the pieces of wood out of my pocket that I've been carved in. And they look at it, oh, this is beautiful. Where does this fit in? Well, this is the tab that I put on my bottles when you buy Baba Shaka's Red June, right? And now these, I got one with the Phoenix, and I got all these other designs that I did. And they said, well, can you explain your method in community? I said, outreach. Because here's the thing, is that I can go and I can tour these symbiotic ciphers all around the town in different neighborhoods, but if I don't have a space for people to come to, then it's all in vain. Because what I'm doing is corralling the artists first, and the artists are the vanguard. So I put the Phoenix in the middle, and then I put all the other pieces to represent the other neighborhoods. See, because what's different between Columbus and Cleveland is that the artists here don't get down together. The artists here are very cliquish, and when grant opportunities come up, they cling together, they try to get it done as fast as possible to beat the other man out. Piece is that if we have a shared incentive in moving together, before we've even pronounced that, we're already collaborating if we can come into this one piece like the Black Phoenix, right? And so when they saw the Phoenix in the middle and they saw all the neighborhoods on the outside, they understood it. And they said, you know what? It wasn't until then that we were able to put the live streaming and the kombucha and, all of it together. But we had to see that visually happen in order for us to, now we realize it. And I asked them, I said, well, how practical is my strategy? And they said, we can expect some positive results from this conversation.
All right, so you
the whole piece, if I didn't make it clear, what I'm saying is that for all the folks that's talking about, they need to see what they're moving towards. Does everybody have the same idea? Is it the same carrot on the string that's moving us?
No,
right?
No.
I use carrot on the string. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying no, we don't. But go ahead.
Right. And that's that's the regard for the artist, is because that's the position of the artist. It takes an artist to create the vision that moves and stimulates the people. And that's always a part of social movement in history. If it wasn't for the hieroglyphics, the movements that's moving right now would have no idea of where to.
Man, I had a thought, and I can't get it. I'm trying, like you said.
I felt it. That's why I just stayed silent.
You said buffering. I'm buffering.
Oh yeah. So this is the thought that I was about to say.
Wait, hold on. This is what I'm saying. Let me go before I get it. Before I lose it. So, what is the name of the organization?
Go ahead.
What is the name of the organization that you are seeking funds from? And you don't have to tell me on you don't have to say it out loud. But let me say this, because those type of organizations that are able to do that, because one of the pieces that I have learned and I've been learning my whole life is those relationships. Can we get somebody in there that we have relationships with, so that when the grant comes through?
Oh man, Tim, let me tell you. Because you said that just now, I got to say this. 10 years ago, when nobody really wanted to hear, because Shaka sounded like a tyrant. Shaka sounded like I'm in the coffee shop culture in Cleveland Heights, and some people just tuned me out. There was one barista who not only did she believe in me, but she said, "Shaka, you know what? I'd like to interview you and write your bio." I said, "Oh, okay. All right." So she let me say everything I need to say about why my movement and what my movement and how my movement, blah, blah, blah. Just 10 years ago. Come to find out, man, Diamond, well, let me back up. On Wednesday night, when we had that Cleveland Foundation informational about these grants that's specifically for Black artists, and the woman was breaking down why the Black artists need their agenda first and not the fiscal organization, because that's oftentimes what's been happening.
Right.
Because the fiscal organization will put their agenda first.
Right.
And so this individual
and get their money
saying,
and leave the artist to
this
finish.
individual saying, yep. So check this out, man. I'm on my way home reading the one pager of how to sign into the Cleveland Foundation site. And it's like, if you have any questions whatsoever, please give this person a call.
And that was barista. It was the barista.
That person, yes.
It was the barista. See, this is what I'm saying, because part of what we do is we cultivate people and we put them in positions, because what a lot of people don't understand is that politics make shit happen. Politics protect, and you got to have your people or your allies in position to assist you when you need it. But go ahead, I'm sorry. That shit, I get excited about that shit, because that's how shit has been happening for me damn near my whole life. Relationships. Me and you met through a relationship that I had with my spiritual mother.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I didn't have a reason to necessarily even go back to Huckleberry House. But she came and started working at Huckleberry House, and she told me, I got to come over there. I got somebody you got to meet. I mean, so I'm sitting apart. I mean, really, this is how it goes down. So it's like, boom, all right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, boom, it's relationships. And we get into positions, that's what they call it when you hire your son and shit like that, or you hire people that you're not nepotism and shit. You're not supposed to do that. These motherfuckers been doing this shit for the last 400 years, and now that many of us are getting in positions to do it, we aren't supposed to do it. Nigga, send me to jail. Fuck it.
They're changing the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Send me to jail.
The company I work for, they've been practicing nepotism since
the beginning.
Don't let my dad start talking about nepotism. My dad is George Jefferson on that shit. Listen.
No, let me finish, Shaka. You be interrupting like a motherfucker. I'm gonna have to beat his ass up when I see him. We fighting, Shaka.
Go ahead,
okay.
Her violent ass.
Yeah, my job, you know what I'm saying? I remember, people all the time over the years, people's sons and daughters working there, you know, cousins, aunties. It's always been real family-oriented business. You know, most of the people who work there knew somebody that already worked there. You know, I've even seen them create jobs. Hell, I got my job kind of from knowing. So my mom worked there years ago, and they wasn't even hiring one. And they was like, well, we'll find a place for you because they like my mom. So there just happened to be somebody was going to be leaving soon, so it was right on time. But nevertheless, over the years, 23 years of working there, you know what I'm saying, I've seen this as a regular basis. And, man, I said, well, I asked them about a relative of mine coming to work there, and they said, oh, we don't hire relatives. That's against the rule.
And you start laughing. Right. They able to throw the rule up. You know what I'm saying? But the whole piece is,
I'm like,
but that's what they were supposed. That's what they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? See, because listen, family, we have to be in positions to be able to put our children on. That's what we supposed to do. We supposed to be able to put some of our cousins on. Some of them that's not quick and shit. Nigga, hold on. We need a dog catcher. Can he be assistant dog catcher? God damn it. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to put our people on. And we haven't been able to do that because we have been marginalized. So all of us is struggling for survival. You know what I'm saying? Shaka's talking about that.
My cousin can wash the shit out of a dish.
Right.
You know, but one thing I noticed that they also do that I've noticed is not a big thing with us is you could come from working at McDonald's and if there's a position open that's even a supervisor position, if you their son or whatever, they're going to give you that job and you'll do on-the-job training.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then I've heard people say, well, you got to earn, well, I had to work hard to get here. I'm not just going to let you come in and start work. I'm not going to do that. But a lot of them don't have that same concept about, you know, you got to work hard to come in.
Hey.
You ain't do this. You say, we're going to start you here. And they will put a motherfucker who ain't had no experience. I've seen the owner of the company bring his son in who had absolutely no experience in the field, and he was the CEO of the company. He's going to give you on-the-job training. You know, he went to a store and worked at a week at a store on the, you know, out in the field, and then he just, you know, kept working in different little areas and and he ended up being a beast at it. He was very, very good at it. But, you know, I've seen too many people like, you ain't got the experience. I can't be hiring you. Or they worry about what they're going to say.
What they're going to say.
If they hire you like
Right, because we own it.
And you ain't got no experience. But they don't give a fuck about what we going to say. Like, well,
At all.
I would like to apply for that job. They don't give a damn.
Prime example, right? Prime example. Go to Gye-Nyame Journey timeline on Facebook. Look on there. Democrats went to the LGBTQ, I get confused with the letters.
Plus. LGBTQ plus. That's what I heard someone say the other day, so that's a LGBTQ plus.
They went to their shit, but didn't come to the ADOS shit. See, listen, that type of shit, if we allow that shit, it's sort of like with the Afrocentric school and them not having Kwanzaa. You know what I'm saying? You can't allow that shit to stay. You can't allow a motherfucker to spit in your face and still stand in your presence. You know what I'm saying? So don't think I'm done with the Afrocentric school shit. Don't think we done with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you can't have motherfuckers just this disrespectful like this, and then they want to come and ask you for something. No, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? No, we got to be like them because they will tell us, fuck you in a second, because every time we bring up reparations, basically what's happening is we got individuals in long about ways saying, fuck you. We got to take care of everybody else. No, your responsibility is making sure that you take care of us. And if you can't do that, if you don't have the balls to do that, we will create the politicians. So go on, give me the inspiration to go on, take over this motherfucker. Right? Because that's what we got. That's the mind state we got to have, because everybody else that's coming here comes with that mind state. I'm taking this motherfucker over.
They do. They do.
You know what I'm saying? Because what bothers me the most is that most of us, we don't have no place else to go, Navita, and that's what breaks. We have no place to go. I mean, I'm married. My wife is Ghanaian. My wife, she buying the store over there. She got somewhere to go. I don't have no place to go.
Right.
So when they talk about wealth going to zero, it's going to affect me and and those that come after me in ways we can't even imagine. We don't want to imagine.
Well, but we're going to have some place to go because, our village, I feel like we have made such progress and are continuing to progress. And I could see us and having our own building in the next 5 years.
Well, all of us can't live in a building, goddammit. I'm just saying.
No, but the building is going to be, what do you call it? Residual income.
Okay. One of them. One of the residual.
The building will consider, because you don't want to get one of it, because you don't want to. One thing I think, people get obsessed with getting a building, but and then that's also getting a bill.
Exactly.
And,
say it again. Wait, say that again, Navita. Say that again, Navita. Say it.
Getting a building is getting a bill.
Baby, you're not wearing no shorts.
You know what I'm saying? Because, somebody was asking me about, they wanted me, like, well, since you're moving, you might as well invest and buy a crib or whatever. And my thing was, before I buy a house, I would prefer to buy a building or start a business that's going to pay for itself in some kind of a way. You know what I'm saying? And then with the money we're making off of that, I can put that money in other places.
Right.
But we got to, it's not good just to get a building and then we're going to do these, and we can do it for free at the school. You know what I'm saying? But if we get some place where we can do things that we may not be able to do at the school, and then we can charge, as long as we have something that's going to supplement the cost, then we good to go. But it don't make no sense just to buy a building.
Just to buy a building.
And you ain't going to be able to pay for it.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what that...
say you got a brick and mortar.
Right. That's that. And that, see, as long as I'm hearing you say that shit right there, I'm with you on the building. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I hear people with buildings, they just want a building, no plan.
They just want a building, no plan.
What we gonna...
we could have a store in the building. We could have a little restaurant in the building. You know what I'm saying? And people could even, like how we do the mall, we could let people rent out the space while they go, food or whatever.
Right.
It's simple things we could do, but we have to make sure we got a plan to generate some income to the building, because ain't nobody just trying to get a bill now.
We could make that ambrosia in the building. Matter of fact,
That's right. We could have the merch, the G&J merch.
Hell yeah.
So people who don't want to order online, they can come to the store and get their merch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just like how churches have, restaurants and stuff during certain hours of the day, you can come pick up your food from the building. It's going to be, but we'll talk about that. Yeah. So anyway, I ain't going to keep y'all on, because I know you probably been on for a while and you got to do the toast. So
yeah, we've been on 103 minutes. I ain't did the toast. So let me do this toast. Family, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, allowing me to vent, allowing other people to get stuff off their chest. Just some thoughts. Just we got to get the thoughts going, right? So now it's time for us to pour libations. I have some brand new ambrosia, fresh out the thing. Of course, you can see the bubbles forming up on top because it's still in process. It's still evolving and becoming. It's not comfortable where it is. So it's turning and mutating into something else, right? It's becoming its better self. So we're going to sample some of this together on Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, after we do the toast, I literally just took this out, and now I'm allowing it to breathe. I'm about to go out and get the rest of the product so I can fulfill the orders. I'm understanding Kwame is sick, so I'm gonna be working double time on getting him his Kwame mix. Now, because I'm using cork top, yes, baby.
My skin don't feel good. Is it okay if I take a bath?
Your skin don't feel good. You were supposed to take a bath early this morning. Your skin don't.
I was.
Okay, go take a bath, Sasha. Your skin don't feel good. Hurry up, because we gotta go. I mean, you're going to wait till almost the end of my show. All right. Real life here, Gye-Nyame. Her skin don't feel good. Can she take a bath? I mean, like, you need permission to take a bath. Come on. All right. But hey, anyway, family. First, giving honor to the creator. Ooh, it's bubbling up. Still can smell. Oh, I smell the change. It's no longer green tea and honey. This is now that ambrosia. Nice and fruity. I don't smell the rice this time. But yeah. Nice bouquet right here. This is, see, I would love to open a spot so people could come in and get the fresh ambrosia, right? Because all the ambrosia is good, don't get me wrong. Even all the way when it get to the vinegar, you can use it on your food and stuff. All the transitions of the drink is good, but there is something. The young ambrosia is I don't want to say it. The young ambrosia is just incredible. I can't even put it in words. What's up?
Tasha's not coming.
What you mean she's not coming?
She said she don't want to come.
All right, because I was going to stop and get some ramen noodles. You can tell Clee that too. I mean, no. But if y'all don't want them, all right. I know you do, but you need to go and let her know. All right, family, we're going to raise up the glass.
She better have.
Do you see me doing my toast? I just gave you instructions. Real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. We raise our glass to the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We lift up our glass, we salute that creator, and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move on to our list of our illustrious ancestors, our beautiful, our empowering ancestors that, motivate and push us to go to the next level. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robin Texas, Davis, Hunt Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia, William Walter, Chris Pendergast, Eileen, Uncle Chris, Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva, Brown, Margaret Ellis, Watch Ellis, Cecil Ellis, of our Brown, Jenny Gaines, Herman Brown, the second, Barbara Twigs, Watch Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan. I need to check something real quick. Okay, cool. Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, hold on. Herman Brown, the second, Barbara Twigs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman. Now, I just wanted to check to make sure I had Wash Ellis on there. No More X, Pet My Rob Malika Fakour, Dr. Man Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Ayers, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulling, the Luxor Brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs. Yes, ma'am. Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rendelman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Louis Henderson, Calvin Spradling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susan B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Del Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Aunt Gold Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Doris Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thorne, Pearl G. Thorne, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thorne, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy Southern Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Perry Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Major Owens, Booker T. Bolton, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hader Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mae Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Gerania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Danny Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Andrew Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thomas Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank and Russell and David, Frank and Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Fred Douglas, it's Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Denny Monares, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan. Jana Callahan. William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Basiji Filani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Elise Waters, DePretis Hines, and as Bostic, and the Bostic, Winifred Scalabay, Wilson Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spradling, Kevin Spradling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee, Print Up Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leanne Pina Carter, Michael Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Neilon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens. Lost where I was. Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacy Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Dorr, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donnie Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwilyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet McCain, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Eno Baby Hatch, had Senior Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson. Damn, I'm seeing shit. Did some sirens just go by? John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Jodine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlton Houston, Love Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls in West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, and Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Pat Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Lauren Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, there it go again, Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Maria Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruben Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Irvin, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robert Lee Caldwell, Neville Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javan McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekel Maha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broaders, Reginald Albert, Mazarin Coper, George Swan, Emmanuel Grace, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil, Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. And we moved to Joella Giles, James Carswell. We got Liberta Adams, also known as Nonsense. We got Elder Shaka McNeil. We got Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shank Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama Aunt Lady Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jermonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quincy Sample, Candace Simmons, Severn Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sally Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruthie Lane Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monger III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Cassandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Al Louty, Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bolden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, Talar Woods, Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamira Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Nettie Dorsey, and Eleanor Hopkins. We raise up our glass in salute to all of our ancestors. And thank you once again for trusting me, family. We lift up our glass and we say Ashe. From there, we move to the present moment. Family, we are in the present moment. Right now, I want to send a round of applause out to all of the Kuumba babies. And so today we are on Kuumba. I want you to activate the reticular formations. Get out in the world. Find Kuumba in action because it is. Find that Kuumba. Now, for those who don't speak the language, Kuumba means creativity. Creativity, right? Now, the demonic principle of the day is order. Color is orange. As you can see by the shirt. But I'm going to put on a black Ket-In sweatshirt in a minute before I hit these streets. Cause and effect is the Hermetic law. Male name is Kwame. Female name is Amma. Shouts out to all the Kwames and Ammas and shouts out to our Kwame. Round of applause. Me and the girls about to go. Get that black seed. Get that dandelion root. Get that burdock root. We got a little bit of I can't remember the name of the seaweed, but we got the sea moss. We got the sea moss. And I'm thinking about the ginger and also maybe that cousin of ginger that a lot of people overlook, right? Turmeric. You know what I'm saying? I might throw a little bit of that in there for you too. Let's see. Brother Kwame is up. Brother Kwame is up. Great Kuumba fam, make it into a great day. Ancestral celebration today. Library from 2 to 4 p.m. Ancestral celebration? Who throwing that? Which library? All right. Anyway, we raise up our glass. We salute 2 to 4. Goddamn, that's right now. You late. Or maybe I'm late. What's going on? All right. Family, we raise our moment up to this moment and we say Ashe. From there, we move to our future generations and we toast them and we say Ashe. From there, family, this is what we're going to do and this is what we got to do. You ready? We got to toast all of our relations. We say Ashe. From all of our relations, family, where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? We go to that moment for yourself. And Ambrose, that smells so good. What do you need in this moment to move towards your personal greatness? We lift it up and we say Ashe. From their family, last but not least, I want to toast the most magnificent, marvelous, uplifting, outstanding individual right now in the place to be. And that's you. I toast you. I salute you. We say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I'm going to sip. Across from AP Des. Okay. Who throwing this? Oh my God. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. Damn! All right, family. I need to get out. I need to get all of my ingredients today before I run out of money and go eat with my kids. My children. Let me say it like that. Family, if you're on YouTube, type in this phrase, exclamation mark, GNJ merch, so they could go on and get you in on the contest. Hashtag GNJ, not hashtag, exclamation mark, GNJ merch, all one word. Didn't know about it. All right, family, this is Brother Tim. I'm out.